Construction work at the new Tallaght Centre began in early January, but it's only now that financing for the development has been agreed. Today's deal ensures that the project will go ahead and that after many years of uncertainty, Tallaght will finally get its long-promised and long-sought town centre.
It gave the men of Tallaght work, the building of the square.
The square, as it was emerging from the ground, you could tell it was going to be big, and it looked very, very different from anything we've ever seen before.
It's like a spaceship that had landed in the middle of suburbia.
The Square Town Centre truly is the heart of Tallaght.
They were clearing the site and we were called up to have a look, and the big thing was the pyramid. The big thing was the pyramid, and that was great because you could see that from all over Tallaght, where there was not so many houses at that time.
We used to go to Sean Walsh Park, as we now know, and watch the square actually emerge from the ground. So it was really, really exciting because there was nothing else like it in Tallaght.
We were coming to the square long before it opened, and a group of us would be brought around in a car or a jeep, and we'd be brought around the site and right up to the time it opened.
I am now married to the woman that brought me to have a look at the square. She's my girlfriend from Sagard, and we came down to look at this amazing edifice. It was like a spaceship that had landed in the middle of suburbia.
Going back to 1990, that was a bad time for walk. Then when the square was open, the square implied mostly everybody came from Tallaght.
Well, that particular day, the 23rd of October 1990, I got up early. There was mass here in the square, attended by Philip Monaghan, who was the creator of the square, if you like, and the staff.
It was a really big deal and massive excitement around it, and things that we take for granted today, things like McDonald's and Eddie Rockets. Apart from all the shop boutiques and that, there was a great sense of excitement around the square when it opened.
But all the bands in Tallaght came together. There were 10 bands in Tallaght at the time. And Pat McNally, who was well known for being involved with bands in Tallaght, he conducted us.
But I do remember Electric Eddie coming in the big truck.
The helicopter coming with these people right and landing. And I was up watching, who was coming. And I saw these, I think 6 lads now, 6 maybe 8. And they were dressed in red and yellow. And I thought they were security men. And it was Bison.
Gay Bourne was here, and there was a big competition for a ring. gold ring for anyone that was born on the dates.
So I shared the same birthday as the square. So being the square baby, it's actually, yeah, it's quite an honour. I have lived my whole life in Tallaght. I went through school in Tallaght. I went to college and now I'm working in Tallaght. I teach children in Tallaght. So it is, it's a big thing to be able to be the square baby.
You gathered your friends, you organised to meet them at the cinema at whatever time of the day, and you went and you did the cinema, you went to Atari Expo, you did the arcades, you may have had enough money to go get a cheeky McDonald's as well. So all those memories compile to so much good, so much joy, so much community in Tallaght.
And then you got to know a lot of people from coming up to the square, you know, people in the shops and all like that, you know.
But I think when you have grown up in a space where sometimes there can be a lot of turmoil, a lot of things, you don't know what's going on, the square has been just a consistent go-to for the particular things that, you know, everyone needs in their life. And I think it's a real sign of, I suppose, how big Tallaght is as a community in terms of its population, that the square has continued to kind of grow in strength and consistency, and it's very much a very solid part of our history and our current kind of everyday life.
I got a real sense of community and a real sense of passion and people who really cared about the centre, cared about Tallaght.
You think Jack was here all his life. He's good to us, he's good to the old people, good to everyone that we care for. That's our work, we care. And so did they here at the square.
The square is a hub, it's a central place of focus for the people of Tallaght, and in recent times it's somewhere to go, and it feels like it's always been here.
Would be Anne Hogg, who did work at the desk, and she was the voice of the square, she was the face of the square, and that would be the nicest memory I have, working with Anne on the desk. And still, customers still come to the desk to look at our picture that we have framed and to talk about it. People still talk about it.
You know, this year we've launched Club Together, and we're now going into Gaelic football and, you know, doing the same thing again and sponsoring all the local clubs and giving the kids a chance to come through on that side. So again, there's some real energy and some real positivity about that.
I mean, first and foremost, it's been a club sponsor for like a long time, which there's a great relationship.
Without the square's partnership and help with us, we wouldn't have been able to do half the stuff we've done. When we first came here, and now it's 10 years in Tallaght, the first port of call for me and the club was the square, because I knew the square was the community. It covered so many different people, and we've done so many things together.
Shamrock Rovers are an iconic Irish football brand, and we wanted to maximise that partnership, and that's worked really well for us, and I'm delighted with the outcomes that we've had.
Done some work now with the square, and one of our focus has been on how we both integrate into the community more and kind of access that network of people. And even with COVID-19, when that kind of all came about in March, they wanted to give back to the frontline staff, and it was the square and the shops here that kind of helped us facilitate that, and we did lots of care packs. And just to be able to pick up the phone and to have that sorted in a week, and to have everybody, you know, it was out on social media, and just the response that kind of came back was amazing.
I think all of us who grew up and live in Tallaght will associate the square with community events.
One of the biggest things for me and what I was passionate about was Christmas. So we invested a lot of energy and effort into our Christmas experience. So building a grotto that was world class, having a Santa arrival, and just making it just an absolute magical wow factor for the kids.
We went to see Santa's Grotto, and we went on the sleigh, and then we went to go into the playroom, and then we went to see Santa.
My favourite was when we saw Santa.
My favourite was when I got the bird.
The big thing was the Santa arrivals over the last 10 years. People that I spoke with over the Santa arrivals, they travelled up from all over the country.
Being able to be a part of the Christmas celebrations here in the square for the last 2 years was an absolute honour, and an honour that I spoke openly and freely about when it happened, and they accepted me in with warm arms. I was taken in, and got to be a part of such a massive, massive thing for the square, which is the Christmas and the Santa launch, something that I went to for years and years and years, and to get to be a part of that with Tallaght was an absolute honour and a joy, and something that I don't think I'll ever forget.
I believe right now, and I'm still passionate about it 9 years later, about the opportunity that we have with this centre.
For me, I would love to see the square become the European Shopping Centre of the Year again. It's a title that it won a couple of decades ago, which I think speaks volumes to what it brought to Tallaght and to Ireland.
Hopefully the extension will eventually get built and we will have pennies.
To see it expand, definitely.
30 years stands the test of time as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, I don't think I'd like to see anything really change.
Is that it can continue to move with the trends and vibrancy that Tallaght is. I mean, I think it has done that fairly well.
And then we one wish, and I think it's everyone's wish in Tallaght and this area, is pennies.
I'd love if pennies, as was rumoured, was coming.
I hope the square continues to be a central focal point in Tallaght and continue to support the community in the way they always have.
I would also love to see the square take in more of its location beside the mountains.
Day one, that it remains the centre of our community, that it's a very welcoming place for people to come, and that it continues to drive retail in the region. The square driving retail is really important. We need a strong economy to promote local employment and to offer people choice. So onwards and upwards for the square is what my ambition is.
COVID's hurt the whole of retail, COVID's hurt the country, but we're coming out of the back of it, we're going to fight it, we're going to face into it, and the square is going to come out bigger, better and stronger, and I'm so excited about some of the things that are coming down the line.
The word I would use to describe the square is warm.
Vibrant.
Uplifting.
Availability.
Friendly.
Friendly.
Togetherness.
Charitable.
Killer.
Supportive.
A happy place.
Happy.
Community.
Not square.
Fun!
Neighbourhood.
A suitability.
Home.
Opportunity.
Go on, you good thing. Happy birthday to Square. 30 years of age and still brilliant value in amazing shops.
Hi guys, Katie McCabe here, Republic of Ireland and Arsenal football player. I just wanted to wish the Square a massive happy 30th birthday. You've always been the heart of Tallaght, and I just hope you have a lovely day and enjoy the celebrations, and most importantly, stay safe.
No mask, no entry. That's the rule.
That's the rule.
Yeah, you were caught shoplifting here last week, weren't you?
Don't talk for that.
Oh yeah. Cut that bit, yeah.